10 questions, 10 minutes. We got to be on time. Jimmy, what are our buzzers this week?
Greg Bedard thinks Joe Alt's not that good. So that guy's an idiot. So thank you.
Somehow Jimmy was able to clip that against all odds.
Hey, Jimmy going back in the archives or something.
That was
Went to Friday?
3 days ago.
Is that okay, Greg? Can I go back to Friday?
That was
or is
last week.
is that too far back for you?
It's fine.
You sure about that?
Mazz just kicked
It
something.
wasn't me. I'm blaming the big boys.
It was definitely you.
Wasn't me.
Go
My
ahead.
feet are up here.
Next.
I just want to make sure Greg's okay with this.
Here we go. All right, Cattles, let's go.
Go ahead.
The try was successful.
Thank you.
2 points for New England.
Anybody can see this. Thank God for review.
Next.
Hose job.
Hose job. Next.
This crew sucks.
They suck and blow.
Yep, they do.
Last one.
40 and a half? That was the
Me getting yelled at.
Over under for the Celtics.
Finding the over for the
yeah,
Celtics.
yeah. You weren't getting yelled at. We were amazed that it was that low. Next. Hit it.
40 and a half?
The latest Dolphins brush fire has seen Tua Tagovailoa call out teammates for a lack of punctuality at team meetings, and subsequently Coach Mike McDaniel publicly rebuke Tua for those comments. Rank in order the biggest problems down there in Miami: the coach, the quarterback, or the players/culture.
The coach, because he sets the culture. I mean, he doesn't direct it the entire time, but he has to set it, the expectations, what people are going to be expected to do down there, and he's completely dropped the ball. He's sort of like a player coach. Then I would say it's the players and the culture, and also just being in South Florida and all that entails. And then I would say the QB. Not that I'm saying he's not at fault. He is, and what he said on Sunday was ridiculous. You can't air that kind of stuff at the podium. You do it privately, but I would say McDaniel is the bigger problem.
Coach, culture, quarterback, in that order. And look, I'm not telling you Tua is a championship caliber quarterback, but they shouldn't be 1-5 with that talent. The problem goes way beyond the quarterback.
The culture, no one's ever going to win in Miami as long as Miami remains a hotbed of hots and doing. 2 is the quarterback. This puke. Never mind his play on the field. Off it, he's blaming everyone within a 5-mile radius for their failures and not taking any blame. The coaches, the teammates, the fans. He's a baby. 3, the coach. They've tuned him out. He'll work as an OC somewhere else, but it's over for him as a head coach.
I think Tua is least of their problems, and I think the reason he went public is because he was just exasperated. I told you I'd heard something just, off the grid, brown checkmark kind of sources about how McDaniel runs the ship down there. He coaches the offense. The defensive coordinator coaches the defense. McDaniels lets the offensive players F off. Remember, like Thursdays, I think, are like family days.
Yeah.
He lets them out in the middle of the day. And the defensive coordinator sitting there going, I got to keep these guys here, Mike. You're letting half the team go. Now I got to keep my guys here. They're looking at me like poison. So the defensive coordinator is having to bribe these guys to stay for meetings in the afternoon because McDaniels is letting the offensive players off on a quote-unquote family day, which you know what that means, Murray.
Oh, yeah. Time to
do it.
Slap it. So it's a total mess down there.
It's going to be a gif.
Next.
This crew sucks.
Number 9, for the next 3 years, who would you rather have? Baker Mayfield or Jaden Daniels?
Both guys I have injury concerns about, and I love Baker Mayfield. But I think at his size, at his age, he plays too hard. I think Daniels has a better chance to last longer, and I love Jaden Daniels. Yeah, he had some issues last night, but some of his throws, that throw in the back of the end zone was insane. I'm taking Jaden Daniels.
I lean Daniels, too, because he's younger, but I'm really coming around on Mayfield. It's hard not to like his compete, especially after that play over the weekend.
Mayfield's playing incredibly well right now. You could probably say he's the MVP of the league, but I'm going with Daniels because he has shown a knack for comeback wins, and he's taller than Mayfield. You think I got a lefty bias? The short quarterback thing I don't love either.
Next.
Hose job.
Michael Penix said last night that the Falcons' win over the Bills shows they're legit. Is he right, or did the game say more about the Bills?
Definitely the Bills. They stink right now, and they're losing people all over the place, especially that defense. They just don't have much. They're in a bad place right now. And also, like, Atlanta had the chance to boat race the Bills in that game, and they completely effed it up. And Raheem Morris is lucky that the Bills couldn't really do anything because He didn't kick the field goal. 4th and 3. This is before halftime. 2-minute warning. 4th and 3 to go up 3 scores. He goes for it. And then the play right before halftime where they don't, again, blow a chance to go up 3 scores.
London
runs out of bounds. I would have kicked the field goal, and then maybe I would have gone for it in that circumstance. But, man, they were lucky to win that game. The Bills should have gotten killed in that game.
The play before the half was unbelievable. You can't come out of that with no points after they give you the ball back. That was ridiculous. But the answer is Buffalo. This is more about the Bills. They're falling apart.
Defense is a sieve. Injured, not very good. They dropped 2 clear interceptions last night. It's about the Bills. Josh Allen playing too loose last couple of weeks. And they refuse to run the ball. Never mind some of the goofy play calling you saw last night, too. They're tight. There's something off with them.
Next one.
Greg Bedard thinks Joe Alt's not that good. So that guy's an idiot. So thank you.
I don't even remember when I said that. When have I ever commented on Joe Alt?
It doesn't matter what you said, Greg. It's what the listeners think you said.
Okay.
Number 7, what's your favorite story in the league right now?
Obviously, I'm not a homer or anything like that, but I got to say Drake May. That what he's doing at this point, this early, after the way he looked in week 1, it's incredible. I mean, it's like, what Josh Allen did in like year 3, all of a sudden transformed into an elite quarterback. I didn't think this was remotely possible.
Drake May. Drake May is a great story in the league. I mean, and again, we're biased, obviously, because of being here. I'll give you a number 2, though, that I think nationally deserves more play than it's getting. The complete cluster that the Baltimore Ravens are. What a freaking demise that is, with or without Lamar Jackson. They've completely fallen apart.
My number 1, the demise of the Baltimore Ravens, and seeing John Harbaugh having to eat a steaming pile. Long overdue. My hands-down favorite story in the league right now.
Daniel Jones and the Colts?
Oh, good one.
Please.
Yeah, nobody cares. And
no one believes that they're going to sustain it.
This year's Vikings.
It's a good story.
Okay. But, I don't, why are the Vikings were a failure?
Yes.
Oh, come on, Jim.
Double-digit wins, and we crap our pants because Sam Darnold turns into Sam Darnold come playoff time. Yay, wee.
So what would you – I don't understand. About 14-win season's bad?
It does nothing for me. When you crap your pants and you turn into what you really are come playoff time, what am I supposed to do with that? Take my pants off and crank? Come on. We know what they are. We know what Daniel Jones is. It's going to happen again. So, yes, let's say all act fake excited about it right now.
I thought you were going to say take your pants off and crap.
Jackson Dart and Scattaboo?
No.
Ugh, detestable human beings.
Love Scattaboo. Didn't think he'd be this good in the NFL. Love him.
Isn't Baker Mayfield having a tremendous,
good story.
That's a great story.
Resurgence in, popularity?
Yeah, but he was good last year, too.
He's become a guy to, root for all of a sudden?
Yeah, but he was good last year.
All right. Next.
40.5?
But if you lose in the playoffs, it's all a failure. Because you understand, everyone loses in the playoffs except for one team.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Number 6, after last week's flurry of reports and yesterday's statement and press conference from Bill Belichick, he shot down all those reports, reiterated his commitment to UNC. I ask you, does he make it through the season in Chapel Hill?
I don't think so. I don't think this is going to get any better. I think it's going to get worse. And then I think by the end of the season, if they don't make a bowl game or whatever, I think he's going to be fired before the end of the season.
Yes. I bet you he does make it through the end of the year. Yep.
Yeah, I do. I'm sorry, Jim.
Yeah, unfortunately, yes. It feels like they've kept the Wolves at bay for now.
Well, I mean, not only he did the presser yesterday, but the chancellor was there. The athletic department was in a tent. I just keep saying to you, they're not going to show up to his press conference to support him on Monday and then fire him on Thursday.
But I think he's done at the end of the year.
They just would have stayed away. So he might be done. He might be done after the year, but I think he makes it too. Next, tool bag.
Host job.
Who is the biggest tool bag Tennessee Titan of all time?
I couldn't think of a good player on this, so I'm going with Jeff Fisher. And I don't have anything against Jeff Fisher. I think maybe some Patriots fans might, but I don't know. He was like league average coach to me. He just was there for way too long, never really did anything, only got by because he had great talent on his team. Just average Jeff Fisher.
Jeff Fisher in a landslide. Not even close. Him and his stupid sunglasses and his hair and his attitude. Complete freaking tool.
I had a tough one with this because I wanted to say Albert Hainsworth, but I ultimately went with cornerback Cortland Finnegan, who once proudly wore the label of the NFL's dirtiest player, voted by other players. He was a dirtbag.
Yeah, there were some dirtbags on those Fisher Titans
Oh,
teams.
it was all him.
Next.
Host job.
Patriots obviously facing an interim coach this week in Mike McCoy. Dig deep. Maybe you did some Googling today, as I did, just to refresh my memory. Who is your favorite interim coach of all time? Who did you like as an interim coach you thought was the best? Who was the worst or the most ridiculous?
So we're giving 3 answers here?
Just give me some names of interim coaches.
So I loved covering Jim Bates when he was the interim coach of the Dolphins. That was my first year covering the league. Ricky Williams retired that year the first time because of marijuana. Wannstedt got fired. Jim Bates came aboard. He was 3-4 down the stretch. Upset the Patriots in a night game when they wore the pumpkin orange jerseys. He's chest bumping like Zach Thomas. So that was fun. I really enjoyed him. A lot of players wanted him to get the job the next year. They brought in Nick Saban, what have you. I was entertained by Dan Campbell in Miami with some of his quotes, and probably the worst one, Jeff Saturday with the Colts. He beat Josh McDaniels in his first game. He lost his next 7, and including the Colts blew a NFL record 33-point lead in Minnesota.
Okay, my favorite one is easy. I think it's easy for anyone around here. Raymond Berry.
Bingo.
Yeah, that was. I don't know that there's ever been a more likable coach than he was, at least for the first part of his career.
Especially coming off that flaming a-hole that was, and why did I blank on his name now? The little tyrant.
Ron Meyer.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, and Berry was just a total opposite, soft-spoken.
Gentle.
Yeah, very likable. His players loved him. He was, it was him. I'm with Bedard on the worst one. Saturday. Jeff Saturday was a disaster. That was a clown show.
Rich Bisaccia for the Raiders like 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Turned it around,
Good
got
one.
them into the playoffs. They should have never fired him. And the most ridiculous is easy for me. Jim Tomsula with the Niners, who was out there farting during press conferences. He was like a homeless guy.
Jim Tomsula
I loved that guy.
He was great for entertainment.
was on my ridiculous list. He wasn't the only ridiculous San Francisco interim coach. Remember Mike Singletary?
Of course,
I don't want to talk about the Yahoo thing anymore. Cannot play with him. Cannot win with him. Cannot coach with him. Can't do it. I want winners.
Mike Singletary was on that list. Thank you, Jimmy.
I don't want to talk about the Yahoo thing anymore.
It was a great cuts of all time.
There was a report on Yahoo Sports. He somehow went off on a thing like he thought it was the beverage or something, like it had something to do with the chocolate milk. Another ridiculous one, Mazz's favorite only because he gets stuck on the name, Cam Cameron.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Same first name twice.
Good one in Detroit from our childhood. Remember Wayne Fonts?
Yeah. Lions.
Cameron wasn't an interim coach, was he?
He was on my list.
Oh. Dolphins, they just hired him after Saban.
I tried to go with true interims, like guys who didn't start as interims and then became the head coach. Guys who literally were just, transition coaches.
So,
Like Saturday.
Cameron wasn't an interim? Anyway.
No, I think he coached the next year full time.
Because I may have gotten that wrong. Marv Levy was an interim coach for the Bills, if you can believe that.
Oh, no kidding.
He did, yeah. Maybe one of the best ever. Next.
I want people that want to win.
Thank you, Mike.
40 and a half?
Number 3, of all the former coach facing off versus former team matchups, which is what we got this week, Vrabel going back to Tennessee to face his old team, the Titans, of all those kind of matchups we've had over the years, what was your favorite?
I have to go with the Tuna Bowl. I think that was the best. The build-up, everything, the tension. You got the ownership, Parcells, Belichick, Curtis Martin. Was he in that game for the Jets? I think he.
Not that first year.
Oh, not the
he was
first
with
one.
the Pats.
First one he was
okay. All that stuff. The border war, awesome.
Definitely Parcells. The border war, the start of the border war to me was peerless.
Parcells coming back with the Jets. That first Tuna Bowl, that Sunday night, that's one of the craziest sporting events I've ever been to in my life. It was mayhem that night.
It's tremendous. Did Jimmy Johnson ever go back to Dallas as Dolphins head coach? He must have.
Yeah, he must have.
Did he do that was that on the Thanksgiving Day where the Leon Lett with the block punt
Might
or the
have
block
been.
field goal? Remember what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I don't remember.
So I'm just trying to think of like anything that would compare. Jimmy Johnson going back to Dallas would be
Andy
one
Reid
of
back
them.
to Philly.
Yes. kind of, I guess, but there wasn't, they just sort of let him go, and
he's not as polarizing.
Exactly.
I would say Gruden and the Raiders.
Good one, but like what?
That one was and that one was in a Super Bowl.
The emotions between the coach and the fan base. It's I can't think of another one other than Parcells here and Jimmy Johnson in Dallas. Anyway, next.
Greg Bedard thinks Joe Alt's not that good. So that guy's an idiot. So thank you.
You're welcome. What coach should have never left his team in the first place? Looking back, which departure makes the least amount of sense for him and or the team?
I got to go with Bill Parcells.
Here?
And, yeah. And they just sort of talked about it, and, he has feelings about it that maybe he should have done things a little bit differently. I mean, they had a good thing going here. They really did. And I just think I don't think he would have lasted very long, but he shouldn't have left when he did.
So I came up with a few that I had trouble, distinguishing between. Gruden never should have left the Raiders. He obviously won a Super Bowl in Tampa, but they should have kept Gruden and just given him what he wanted. Shanahan in Denver was another one, never should have left there. And Coughlin at Jacksonville. How did Jacksonville think they were going to do better than Tom Coughlin? Idiots.
Jimmy Johnson should have never left the Cowboys, or that thing should have fixed itself for him, and the owner there should have figured it out. That's recency bias from watching this documentary on Netflix, but that thing really did kind of unravel once he left.
Yeah.
Bill Walsh leaving the Niners.
Mm-hmm, that crossed my mind too.
They were still at the height of their powers. They won 2 more. He left in 89. He was born in 31, so he was 58 years old. I mean, not even that old. And he just got a little worn down, and that was it.
He was burned out. He was a guy. I've read a couple books about Bill Walsh, and he really runs hot. I mean, he's very similar to Sean McVay now. You never know when he might hang it up, where it's just grinds in the losing. If they don't win, it kills them. He needed to take a break.
He went back and coached Stanford. A couple of years later, he came back and was a vice president and general manager of the Niners in the late night. He had more run. So Bill Walsh is the one I always think of. Next. Last one.
40 and a half?
Last one. What would be the most juicy coaching matchup now? Pick it. Like, conjure it up even if you have to. Like, a guy leaves and you might be leaving and he comes back,
Okay, I'm not that creative, so I'm just Sean McVay versus Kyle Shanahan. To me, is much watch. Must watch. There's something there.
So I don't mean that. I mean, Mike Tomlin leaves the Steelers, which a lot of people think he's coming to the end of the road of the Steelers.
Right. So you mean Bill Belichick goes to Buffalo and takes on the Patriots.
Right. Mike Tomlin goes to the Giants, comes back and coaches Pittsburgh. Something like that. The question wasn't worded well.
Belichick to the Dolphins against Vrabel and the Patriots. I could see Belichick, Miami turn into Belichick, and I don't know, something about the Dolphins I take more seriously than Belichick, or find more realistic than Belichick with the Bills. Belichick with Miami against Vrabel. And
Too many young women down there.
Yeah, Vrabel, and if Belichick somehow waddled his way back into any NFL team, even if it was Tennessee this weekend, that would be intriguing.
If the polarizing nature of a coach coming back, there's some of it with Vrabel in Tennessee, but that reaches that level of the Belichick, Parcells, Jimmy Johnson thing. It's
acrimony.
It's hard to find it. I think it's lacking big name acrimony out there. Just too bad, unfortunate.